It's 3rd January 2022. Greetings from Rwanda's capital, Kigali. And as we continue wishing you a good start to the new year 2022, here's what makes our top stories tonight. Rwandan health officials have again expressed confidence that the country will be able to vaccinate at least 70% of its people against COVID-19 before the deadline set by the World Health Organization. Some residents located in the industrial zone are demanding that they be relocated from the area since they are not allowed to carry out any economic activities in this area, plus the fact that they get affected by the smoke from the industries. The issue of African coffee farmers not seeing enough of the profits their products brings in, as well as the fact that most of the coffee exported by the continent is not processed, hence returning to African markets in inflated prices, are among the topics being discussed at the annual meetings of the Inter-African Coffee Organization here in Kigali. A very good evening to you and welcome to Rwanda Television News. My name is Sam Kalisa. Kicking it off on the local scene, Rwandan health officials have expressed confidence that the country will be able to vaccinate at least 70% of its people against COVID-19 before the deadline set by the World Health Organization. Experts, meanwhile, say the continued global mass vaccination campaign will result in weakening of the virus, making no more harmful than the common cold. We do have the story with Serge Nore.
2021 came to an end with Africa lagging far behind the rest of the world when it comes to vaccinating our people against COVID-19. At just 9% fully vaccinated, yet the goal set by the World Health Organization had been 40%. Regardless, 7 African countries did hit that mark, one of them Rwanda. We made an arrangement with COVAX that was set up to ensure that all countries get vaccines through international cooperation, and we secured 7 million vaccines to be delivered before the end of December, and that figure was exceeded, which we are grateful for. Then there are the 4 million vaccines the country bought on its own. No easy feat, by the way. Then there are other vaccines that were donated to us by other countries thanks to good bilateral relations, so we are fully capable of vaccinating our people. Even those who have got their first jab have their second injection waiting for them. And even people due for their booster shots should go and get them because they are there.
For global health security.
Officials at the World Health Organization are saying it is possible to defeat COVID-19 during this year of 2022, but every country around the globe will have to have vaccinated at least 70% of its population by June.
First, we must end the pandemic. To do that, we need all countries to work together to reach the global target of vaccinating 70% of people in all countries by the middle of 2022. We need governments to continue using tailored public health and social measures, including testing, sequencing, and reporting of variants by all countries without fear of punitive measures.
Rwandan health officials are confident the country will achieve this goal long before that deadline, as long as people respond to the vaccination campaign like they are supposed to. We are not worried because we have the vaccines, and I can tell you that that is something we should be proud of. The government fulfilled what was required of it, and 2021 came to an end with vaccines able to fully vaccinate at least 70% of our population in stock, and more are still coming in, so that we can start on those that have not yet been vaccinated, possibly even start vaccinating children under the age of 12. That is what is being considered because as the vaccines keep coming in, they too will eventually be vaccinated. Please note, however, that having the vaccines and actually vaccinating people are two very different things. So the general public must be willing to get vaccinated for this to be achieved, which is why it is imperative that people understand why the vaccines are necessary. Health experts, meanwhile, say the continued global mass vaccination campaign will result in the weakening of the virus, making it no more harmful than the common cold.
Let me give you an example of the flu. You know that it has seasons when it strikes. with almost everybody getting it and some too sick to leave their homes. But you don't hear of people being hospitalized and dying from the common cold. Now, do you? So as the number of people who are vaccinated against COVID-19 continue to increase, its effects on the body will be no more severe than the flu. They will not get so sick as to need supplemental oxygen or hospitalization. Such incidents will gradually disappear because of the vaccines.
Rwanda, Seychelles, Mauritius, Morocco, Tunisia, Cape Verde and Botswana are the only African countries that had fully vaccinated at least 40% of their populations as 2021 came to a close, with Seychelles and Mauritius having already hit the 70% mark.
And still not far from the fight against COVID-19. As the COVID-19 infection rate has continued to climb in Musanze district, local residents there admit that there has been a lot of complacency regarding the prevention measures in place, and some people even seek help from traditional healers when they contract the virus, resulting in fatalities.
The rising COVID-19 infection in Musanze in the last few weeks has been enough to see an influx of local residents going to the district's health centers to check that they are not infected. It has really scared me, so I decided to come here and get checked. The infection rate here in Musanze is really worrying. This complacency towards the preventive measures is a result of people not following instructions so that we can all protect ourselves from corona. The latest figures indicate that more than 100 people in Musanze tested positive for COVID in just one day. Then there is the problem of people going to traditional healers and taking herbal medicine when they get sick. People are going to seek treatment among traditional healers claiming to have been bewitched by their neighbor, yet it is just COVID that they have. Since December, Musanze has more than 330 COVID-19 patients currently in self-isolation at home and being monitored by healthcare workers, and another 13 at Ruhengeri Hospital in critical condition and on ventilators. Another 3 are known to have died after first seeking help from traditional healers. In the last few days, we have been receiving critically ill patients who come to us after first making the rounds among traditional healers. We are making a very simple request. If you think you have COVID-19, go to your nearest health center or come here to the hospital so that you can get tested. And even if it is not COVID, we will be able to determine what illness you have and you will get the appropriate treatment. More than 178,000 people in Musanze district have taken their first jab of a COVID-19 vaccine, and more than 65,000 are now fully vaccinated, with another 6,332 having received their booster shot.
Moving ahead, some residents located in the industrial zone are demanding that they be relocated from this area since they are not allowed to carry out any economic activities in the area, plus the fact that they get affected by the smoke from the industries. Martina Abera has more.
These families are located in different villages of Masorosel of Ndera sector in Gesawa district, an area that has been designated as an industrial park. Their homes and property are already surrounded by industries. The more industries increase in the area, the more they run out of space. They say that they are in a dilemma because they don't know if they will be relocated or not, adding that some industries release fumes that affect them.
The problem we have is these industries that are surrounding us and pollutes us, which is very worrying because they emit the smoke. We were supposed to live far from them.
We
have a big problem with this battery industry. When it sends smoke, no one can even eat because it smells very bad. Some investors have come here to relocate us, but we've been waiting for a long time now. They came here many times to expropriate us, but couldn't finish the process. Look how these industries are surrounding us. There are very many. We are not allowed to construct or renovate our houses. This makes us uncomfortable.
They always come here and tell us that they will send investors, but nothing was done. We are not allowed to do anything from this area.
There's a factory on the other side that smells very bad, but mostly at night.
The Gasabo District Administration says it is aware of the problem. However, district officials reiterated that the Ministry of Trade and Industry has the final say about the relocation. Nevertheless, the district administration did not disclose the number of families living in the industrial area. The Kigali City Administration also acknowledges that the area where these families live is an industrial park and that they will be relocated after the expropriation process has been completed.
Thank you, Martina, for the story. Moving ahead, the issue of African coffee farmers not seeing enough of the profits their products brings in, as well as the fact that most of the coffee exported by the continent is not processed, hence returning to African markets in inflated prices. Among the topics being discussed are the annual meetings of the Inter-African Coffee Organization here in Kigali. Betty Mutoni has more.
The number of coffee shops are increasing in the country. As you can see, this is one of the coffee shops in Kigali. That means domestic consumption is increasing, hence giving job opportunities for many.
The coffee industry is growing because we have a lot of baristas internationally. A lot of baristas are going outside to work there. Here in Rwanda, we started like per day we used to sold like 5 cups of coffee, but at the moment we sold like 100 per day.
In a bid to promote and encourage the young generations to drink coffee and raise domestic consumption from 3%, Stafford Rubagumya, the managing director of Stafford Coffee, introduced the act of bringing coffee closer to the people in different areas of the country at the low price and training people with disabilities how to prepare coffee.
People need to access coffee easily. So those kiosks are set nearby the roads, nearby the tax bus stations. They are installed at universities. This is in line with having the mass drink coffee, but especially the youth, because the youth, they have, they're young, so that means they have 40 to 50 years of drinking coffee, so which is beneficial to our economy, and also it is beneficial in promoting domestic consumption of locally produced coffee.
Many youth have started becoming passionate about coffee.
The reasons why I like coffee: people like us who do not take alcohol. Coffee helps to refresh our minds before going to work and times of making reports in such stressful moments.
Coffee reduces fatigue and enables one to think well. That's why I like coffee nowadays.
The Minister of Agriculture and Animal Resources, Dr. Geraldine Mcheshimana, explains different things done to make sure that the price of coffee increases per kilo to benefit the farmers.
According to the number of coffee farmers and their coffee trees, we discussed with different stakeholders, and the price of a kilo kept on increasing. I remember in 2017, it was 166 Rwandan francs, and in 2019, it went beyond 190 Rwandan francs. Last year, it was 216 Rwandan francs, and now it is at 248 Rwandan francs. And this implies that the farmer shouldn't be getting lower profits. And as we know, a cup of coffee is expensive.
According to the National Strategy for Transformation, coffee productivity per tree will be increasing from 2.8 kilograms in 2017 to 4 kilograms by 2024. Coffee planted will increase from 37,500 hectares in 2017 to 40,000 hectares by 2024. During the recent fiscal year 2020-2021, Rwanda earned over 61,500,000 USDs from coffee. Betty Mutoni, reporting for RwandaTV News.
Thank you, Betty. Moving ahead, mango seeds that are being cultivated from many years in the Bugarama Valley of Rusizi district are being replaced by another one that is expected to produce better yields than the previous one. Farmers in the area are confident that they are now going to be selling their produce to industries.
Mango seeds planted in this valley are believed to be out of date. This seed contains roots inside them that remains in a person's teeth, and the farmers also confirmed that they have no market.
Its produce had reduced because it had started developing diseases, hence not yielding.
We were earning between 1,000 to 2,000 Rwandan francs from 50 kilos of mangoes. They told us that there is no market. Last year, Minister of Local Government Gatabazi Jean-Marie Vianney visited the area and asked authorities to change the mango fruit being planted. We want to improve mango seeds planted in Bugarama. We spoke with different agencies to see how residents can be provided with improved seeds. There is no way all this area can be planted with mango seeds that are not highly demanded on the market. Some farmers have started planting new seed in small quantities. They, however, requested for pesticides so that they can get the produce they hope for. They told us to plant new seeds with old ones and remove the old ones later.
We hope to get better produce because this new seed yield is better than the old one and the price is a bit higher.
Sometimes they get affected by insects, so we're requesting that they give us insecticides so that we can get the produce we hope for. The district aims to cultivate 2,500 hectares of new seed on a consolidated land, an action that the administration says will be completed by the end of this year, according to Habineza Valence, the district's forestry and natural resources officer. We're now multiplying the seeds so that around October and November this year, residents can start planting them on a consolidated land. On the issue of insects, we keep training residents on how to clear the area so that their mango trees doesn't get affected. The 2,500 hectares will be cultivated on a consolidated area of Bugarama, Muganza, Chikundamvura, and Nyakawiya sectors.
And on behalf of the entire news and technical team that made it happen, thank you very much for being with us. My name stays Sam Kalisa, wishing you a fruitful week ahead. And once again, Happy New Year.